99, there's a good look at First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns.
We got this.
Let's go now. 60 Pittsburgh. 61 Matchbox Light.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Second and 5. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. He completes it to Boyd. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Set hut. 10 Tucson. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Set hut. 15 on it. 15 on it. Hey, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
First carry for Nick Chubb. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Making the play defensively, Carl Lawson.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, pick your game up.
On 2nd and 9, Jones. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down.
I'm coming for you, son. First shot. 57's the mic. 57's the mic.
Now Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Switch it. Here, switch it. Let's go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Joe Mixon. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Back to Mixon on first down. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. 94.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He'll buy some time, and he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A 22-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. This fielded at the 2. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Throwing Jones. That's complete to Cooks. And he'll go down at the 28. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, well, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completions.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
Over the middle to Beckham. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
First and 10 at the 11-yard line.
They'll run on first down. It's Love. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
2nd and 5 now. Jones. They set up the screen to Chubb. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And some space here. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
Well, that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
They'll come out throwing here on first down. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
On first down, it's Campbell. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12 at the 27-yard line.
Okay, ready? 57. Race don't drop. Race don't drop. Go.
On 2nd down now, it's Campbell. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, so from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
It's 3rd down.
Down. 30 base. Let's go. 80 weapon. 80 weapon. Sponge. No.
7-7, our score after 1.
Ready? 60 out block.
Let's go, dude. Let's go. Check.
Go.
They'll set up to throw. Flush to it, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Myles Garrett, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. Now Jason Sanders for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 48. And that is no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
So the missed field goal, and now they're in great shape. They'll start at the 38. Meanwhile, here, a run on first down really backfires as he's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 7 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd and long. Now Jones. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Right there, 54 miles.
A run for Nick Chubb. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Let's get it.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So now facing a 3rd and 16 following back-to-back running plays that went in the wrong direction.
Safety's creeping.
Looking to throw. Jones. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is fielded at the 7. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left, early in November, but they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. 1st down.
1st down, Bengals.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Watch the whip. Rush in. Rush in.
Now back to throw. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
He was covered by Denzel Ward.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now Mixon. And an alley to run. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Bengals have taken the lead. And oh, it's no good. For the 2nd time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
At their own 32-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. The 20, 10, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with his second touchdown here in this first half. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. Point after, right down the middle. And with it, his guys take the lead here by a point.
14, Bengals 13.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Check 52.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
They'll look to throw here. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to.
Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. And that's now 2 big catches on this drive for him.
You know, the NFL keeps talking about the possibility of using video for coaching on the sidelines. That's not approved yet, but you can still use pictures. They've got to send his picture down to their defense and say, you see him? Cover it.
Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Now from the 7, here's second and goal. Here's a 2nd and 7. Rolling to his left. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. But now it's 3rd and goal. 6 plays got him down here. This is play number 7. 3rd and goal. He'll drop to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
The kick by Sanders is good. And with that, they'll take a 2-point lead here in quarter number 2. Now, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Jones now. Off play action. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that is incomplete. Stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
Incomplete. It leads to 2nd and 10.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. They run. Chubb. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. From the 31, Jones. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Only a yard there, sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd.
Come on out here, come get some.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fielded just inside the 20. Accelerating, and off he goes. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Covered a lot of ground there, 81 yards on the punt return. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach, but it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they hit the ball and kick it right to him.
Sanders on for the extra point. And can you believe it? He misses another one, his 3rd so far. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Trying to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They'll run again with Love on first down. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Not much happening there on first down.
Thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Don't get nervous.
From the 40 now on second down. Jones, he gets it to Cooks. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. From their own 40 to the other 40. The gain of 20 leads to 1st and 10. A give running right is Chubb. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
You don't want none. Mike 55. Mike 55. Let's go. Hayward. Let's go. Mike 55. Mike 55. Hey, eat. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see me.
Here's 2nd and 8. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
He'll let this go for the end zone. That's going to be caught by Ross for a Bengal touchdown. John Ross, his 11th touchdown of the year. And thanks to the interception, the Bengals offense cashes in with 6. And he missed it again. The 4th time now in this game alone, and that has to be great cause for concern over on that sideline. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jones, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Jones. And some room to work.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run with a big man, Campbell. And not much running room. Down to the 32. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. They'll set up a throw. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones hit, and the ball's out. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the 4th. On 2nd down, Love. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to the end zone real fast.
Looking to throw. Jones. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Brandon Cooks. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns get a score closer. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting. And the kick is away. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably Going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
The drive will commence with a run by Mixon, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And it brings up 3rd down.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. They'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Greedy Williams, the rookie out of LSU, there to knock it away. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
The Browns drive about to get started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
And he'll be taken. Down, but not before they work it across midfield.
22 yards. That's good for a Browns 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Check, ready. 55, Mike. Hey, me and you all day. All day.
Here's Jones on 1st down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. Throw complete right side to Cooks. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain there of 21 yards.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Jones on 1st and 10, and finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
55. That's it. Back to you. I'm going back to you.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jones. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Brandon Cooks. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Able to slither by. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go, baby.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
6 guys. Check 6 guys.
Nixon will try the right side. 3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Check. Fresno. 22 check bomber.
They'll drop the throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
That's it. All right, baby, yeah.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On 1st down, here's Love.
I got you, boy.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Back to throw. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. They'll look to throw. This is caught. It's close. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll run with Chubb. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow. Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. He's back to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over. So a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you. That may have happened to him in that situation.
And this is caught. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. John Ross with time running out. And the Bengals are going to jump back in front. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. And he'll go down at the 2-yard line. What a disaster there. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. 1, to get yourself in position.
And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. And that disastrous play partner is ultimately going to seal their fate in this one, isn't it?
It certainly is, because they gave up the 2 points, but that's not really what did it. It's having to give up the football. And because they gave up the football, guess what? The other team now can take the ball and close this game out.
A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. The Bengals go down to a knee in the victory formation. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime,